Today we are talking about how to use the main social networks to grow your business. And this is going to be short and sweet. So a problem a lot of businesses have and companies have is that there are all these social networks at your disposal, and you just go in and you throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and hope it sticks, and then you end up not building at all. So maybe that's not your best strategy to use. So this presentation, I'm going to just boil down really quickly, short and sweet without getting into many details and bogging it down, how to use each social network to get the most bang for your buck to build your business, because of this. So the social networks that we're going to be talking about today are going to be LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook. And there are a few subcategories in that Facebook arena. There's going to be pages, there's going to be groups, and then finally your actual personal page. Yes, you can actually use that actual personal page to build your business. Now, a few notes about this before we dive in. There are a few platform etiquettes and strategies you need to be aware of. So each of the main social networks has its own quirks, quacks, rules. If you look in Reddit, for example, they have Retiquette, and that just basically lays out some ground rules so that you don't look like a douche when you're trying to post stuff and trying to advertise without looking like you're really advertising. Now, these all govern how you should behave or how you get ahead on the platform. A lot of times they're subtle, kind of very small differentiating rules, but you do need to be aware of them. So do spend 15 minutes on any of the platforms you choose, reading the rules and familiarizing yourself, even if you think you know them, with what they require. Next, if you abide by these and use your time to focus on a single winning strategy, which I'm going to give you, you can actually have success. These are not short play games. I'm not going to say, hey, go out and buy likes, or hey, go out and buy views, because that's not really building anything. That's just kind of blowing up a vanity metric. And then when people are like, oh, cool, man, well, how much money are you making? You're like, well, I'm not, because all these people are people randomly over in China on a bot farm, and I don't really have any friends or family, and this is just super depressing. So don't look at this as a short-term strategy. Most of these will take a couple of months if you do them, but it will be a couple of months of investment for a long-term payoff, because you'll actually have real customers, real fans, whatever you're looking for. Finally, don't go wide with this. Go deep. So out of all the platforms, what were there, about 8 to 10 or so? Pick 1 to 3 of them and invest time in them versus trying to master all of them. And how do you pick which 1 or 3 you choose? Well, I would ask where most of your customers are. So for me, most of my customers for building up my marketing company are not on Pinterest, or at least I don't see a lot of return from that. So I don't really choose to focus on Pinterest, all right? I don't focus at all on it, in fact. However, there are a lot of business owners getting on LinkedIn, getting on Twitter, and even looking up YouTube for strategies, and so that's where I choose to spend my time. So without further ado, let's go into these channels, and I'll show you how to get the best bang for your buck out of all of them. So first up is LinkedIn. To get the most bang for your buck, or the most money for your time in LinkedIn, you need to do the following things. Number 1, join engagement groups. So don't just add people, join groups, participate. You'll notice that most of the things I'm going to be talking about in this presentation are participatory production strategies. So not consumption and easy methods and easy paths. It takes you producing, and you have to put yourself out there for that. Next, become a producer. Put out content, craft your story on your LinkedIn, and add relevant prospects that are maybe geographically near you, especially if you're more of a local business. So remember, people want to hear the story. If you've read Made to Stick, you'll know, or paid attention to even Donald Miller's Story Brand, you'll know that people want to hear stories. So even if you just have a company, tell the story, why you got into that. Craft the story using your LinkedIn profile. And you don't always have to be posting business things. So bring out your personality in your LinkedIn profile as well. And continue to add quality potential prospects near you. Finally, automate it all. So there are lots of really cool LinkedIn automation tools. Anytime that you post to YouTube, anytime you post to another one of these platforms, go ahead and copy and write a little bit of a personal note on LinkedIn and try to automate it the best you can. Some of these strategies will require some automation, and that's cool. So there's your quick strategy for LinkedIn. Join engagement groups, offer help up front, become a producer and keep putting out content, add relevant prospects near you. So maybe you can add some C-level execs, maybe you can add some potential clients, and people who might fit your demographic well, and then do your best to automate it. Now let's dive into Instagram. Instagram, kind of the same as LinkedIn. You're going to want to join some engagement groups. Now that's going to be an exchange. Basically, you click mine, I click yours. So join some engagement groups and try and get some back and forth love going. Next, you want to create a branded look across your content. Again, tell a story with it. You see a lot of influencers and people like that using the same colors, the same kind of shots, the same palettes in each one. You want a cohesive look because this is your brand, right? So you don't just want a bunch of weird cameras with your thumb in the picture and all that crap. You want to create a look and spend some time actually editing and crafting your pictures. Next up, do some paid shout outs with influencers after you get enough organic followers, because influencers, your shout outs will be a lot cheaper, because influencers still want a little bit of feedback, and it's, again, a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. So if you can come to an influencer and be like, hey, we built up some organic followers, would you care to do a shout out? Maybe we can do a collaboration, something like that. Once you've built up, and you don't have to build up to 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, or even 50,000, maybe just 5,000 or 10,000. You can look at some of those. You can use sites like Shoutcart to find those like mid-level influencers and then do a paid shout out and see if it drives traffic. Again, I don't think that paid shout outs are the answer to everything, but it can definitely help. Next, let's move on to YouTube. Again, this is how to get the most bang for your buck in the shortest amount of your personal time spent on YouTube. The main thing with YouTube is that you just have to publish, whether it's every day like I do, or whether it's once a week or twice a week, whatever your schedule is, you need to publish, because the more YouTube sees you doing that, it's going to say, okay, this business or this person is trying to keep people on our platform, and we're going to reward them by kind of restructuring our algorithm to boost their views and keep people on. So you do that by continuing to publish so YouTube can kind of work its algorithm out. Next, consider cross-channel collaboration. So maybe you have 100 subscribers. Well, you might not want to go to the person with 10 million subscribers, but maybe you could find someone with 1,000 to 5,000 or maybe even 10,000 and ask to do a cross-channel collaboration. Maybe they come on your show and then you go on theirs and you can kind of swap viewers. So you can aim a little high here. You don't have to do 50 for 50, all right? But just make sure that you're bringing the heat. So you want to bring something that can bring value to that collaborator's audience. So maybe don't find someone that's in your exact niche. So maybe if you're in the sewing niche, don't go onto another sewer's channel, right? That teaches exactly what you teach. Maybe you could go onto a fashion channel and teach how different fabrics combine to give different feels or something like that. So be looking for cross-channel collaborations. Next, infuse your videos at the top of self-created playlists. So I did this recently. I purchased a big new guitar effects unit, and I was looking up videos and I found this really cool playlist that had like 50 videos all dedicated to this one guitar effects unit. And at the top of this playlist, which had been viewed hundreds of thousands of times, was the creator's video. So by creating really cool content around a playlist, you can actually put your video in the top 1 or 2 and get the most views by people looking for that playlist and sorting their channel searches by playlist. So again, create playlists about a certain subject, maybe digital marketing, maybe organic food, maybe fly fishing, and then put your videos at the top of those playlists. Moving on to Twitter. So on Twitter, you're going to find medium-sized influencers in your industry and interact. This needs to be genuine interaction. Don't just like it. Actually contribute to the conversation, because think about this. Even though you might be looking at this Twitter person or this tweeter or whatever they're called as someone that's out of reach for you, a lot of people are thinking that and won't even engage with the person. So I know when I put out videos and people write to me, even if it's just 1 or 2 comments, it means the world. And I'm like, wow, someone's actually consuming what I'm producing. So say, even if it's just a good job, good point, read the article, loved it, interact with those people and build up a little bit of a relationship. Retweet, build that relationship, give feedback, and then that opens up the potential for some more cross collabs later on down the line. Keep adding people that are kind of your reach collaborators. Interact with them. Twitter is a long-term game, but you'll find a lot of business leaders and a lot of influencer minds on this network. Next, let's move into my personal favorite one, which is Reddit. Now, Reddit is my favorite, but it is also freaking hard because people will roast you on Reddit. So this is how I would do Reddit, and this is how I do Reddit. So spend a month and build a profile of contribution. So if you just start a profile and then start posting ads for your business or start talking about your business, Redditors will actually go in there and be like, dude, you just created this profile to be on here, get out of here, and they will shame you until you no longer want to be on there and make your life hell. Don't do that. Reddit can be a gold mine for getting traffic and getting your business out there, especially if it's more B2B and kind of nationally known. But don't create a profile just to advertise. Spend time contributing to the platform. All right, again, long play games. Next, do an AMA. I wouldn't run ads. People on Reddit don't usually take very kindly to ads. Reddit just added a more promotional post in their app, and it is going crazy right now. People are hating it. So rather do an AMA. This worked really great for me for a DJ product I put out. I put out a product for how to DJ your own wedding, and then I went and did an AMA on a wedding subreddit and got like 1,000 views, 60 comments, something like that. And it drove a lot of traffic to my website. I've also done it with videos, so you can go in and post videos. And that's the next subject of this, which is post helpful videos on relevant subreddits. So if you are into baking, there are probably tons of baking subreddits. Go and post a video and a little tutorial about how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie or something like that. And you can drive a lot of traffic to your YouTube channel or to your website like that. But the thing to keep in mind with all this is to be real and upfront with everyone, because Reddit, as I've said, can be brutal. So post as much helpful information as you can up front. Then at the end, drop a link to your website or whatever so people can read more. If you just post a sentence or two and then say, to read more, check out my website, people will skewer you and it will be really embarrassing. And then you're going to come back to this video and say, oh, you told me so. And I'll say, yep, I did. So that's how you can use Reddit to grow your business, but do so very carefully. Next, let's jump into Facebook. So I'm going to start with Facebook pages. So to build a Facebook page effectively in the quickest amount of time, you want to use a service like ManyChat to build a messenger bot. And that messenger bot will push people to a subscription. And right now, messenger bots have really high opt-in rates because they're kind of the new thing. So go into ManyChat or any of those messenger bot services, and when people log on or see your Facebook page, have that bot activate and compel them towards a subscription or some sort of opt-in. Next, let's go into building a Facebook group. So to effectively build a Facebook group, spend a month, 30 days, and build a Facebook friend network of people that you can help. And then once you do that, which I'll go into in a second, ask to invite them to the group and continue to just pump value in there. Now you're going to want to post once a day on this group. You want to make sure you're removing spam posts, so any of the get rich quick bullcrap that people put on there, get rid of that. You want to ask questions and provide aha moments to the people that get in this group. So essentially you're just acting as a trusted advisor, a guru if you will, or whatever, and continuing to pump value in this group. You're building a community of your own. So think of it as like you're building your own social network in the context of a Facebook group. Finally, let's get into building a Facebook personal page profile for your business. Yes, you can actually use your personal page as business networking. In fact, I would actually challenge you to start thinking of your Facebook profile page, especially in this day and age, less of a social platform and more of a way to build your business if you really want to commit to it. Now, how do you do that? Well, what you want to do is you want to take all your friend group, maybe you have 1,200, 2,000, maybe even the top level, 5,000 friends, and you want to trim them down. You want to take out all the people that would not help you build your business or your company. and you want to just take them out. I did it, and you might be like, well, how am I going to stay connected? Ask yourself, is this really going to keep you connected? Are you really going to miss out by not having all your friends on Facebook? I don't know. That's a question that you can only answer. But once that list is trimmed down, you're going to start rebuilding that by posting valuable content every day. You can even cross-post this from the above group that we just created. So you're going to create value and be a producer. All right, you're seeing a theme here. Now what this does is this teaches Facebook's algorithm to deliver your post to friends who might find it very helpful and might find this information very valuable, especially if they're building their own business. So again, trim your list down to only people that might be potential prospects. Now you're not going to bother them. You're just kind of positioning the algorithm to do its duty. All right. Next, you're going to start adding people to your friends list who are engaging in prospect-filled groups, and doing this as soon as you post a new piece of content will kind of encourage Facebook's algorithm to show your new content to them. So let's say if I just posted a blog post about how to drive traffic to your website, and then I'm going to go into Facebook groups as soon as I post that on my regular profile page and add people that are being interactive in the group, because it's showing that they're not afraid to engage in the Facebook platform. What will happen is, because you've just posted that and you just added this friend, Facebook will say, okay, well, let's try and meld those two together and see if this information is relevant to the person he just added. And that's how you can get a lot more reach on your content. Next, you're going to repeat this until you're at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 friends. That should probably take about 30 to 60 days of doing this in about 20 to 30 minutes a day. So it'll take some time, but the time's worth it, because when you get done, you're going to have a friends list of just potential prospects for your business. And then what you can do is you can go into the Facebook audience builder and you can create a lookalike audience from your results. So from this new friends list, you can actually create a lookalike audience and run ads just to those people. So it's pretty darn cool. So anyways, that's it. Remember, it's better to invest time in the 1 to 3 platforms we talked about above, where your customers will be, versus trying to cast this huge wide net all over the place and getting nowhere. So take those quick strategies that are quick bang for your bucks and start employing them. See what works for you. Maybe one platform you thought worked really well doesn't work well at all, and you need to refocus your efforts. But that's how you can do it, and that's how you can build a long-term but effective group of customers and list of prospects through social media networks. I'm Brandon Stiles. I'm a digital marketer in Atlanta, Georgia. Please subscribe to this channel if that was helpful at all to you. Put out content like this all the time. Again, I want to help you build your business, and I want to help you kind of live a more successful life, a more rich, fulfilling life. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.